Welcome to Part of My Imagination. I'm Imagination and you're the Imaginers. Welcome if this is your first time. My name is Jasmine and welcome back if this is your second or third or however many times you've clicked on my channel. Welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about the 5 tomes and 5 classics that I want you to read in 2023. Okay, if you watch my January TBR, you already know one of the books on this. It actually falls in both categories, my tome and my classics. So let's just get into it. I'm going to start with the 5 classics that I want to read in 2023. Okay. The first book I have is Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, as I told you in my January TBR if you watched it. Yeah, I'm going to be reading this. This falls under the classic and the tome. Okay, so you're only going to see 4 tomes because this is one of them. This is 908 pages. I will be reading this for the entire year. I average about 76 pages a month, I believe. Yeah, this is basically just following a man named Gene who used to be a criminal, got out of prison, still was doing criminal stuff. Some politician, or not politician, but a charitable bishop. So politician. Some charitable bishop does something to change his life, and he decides, I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to be a better man, and he proceeds to do that. Well, while he is being a better man, there is a police officer that knows him, and he's like, nah, bro, you're a criminal. Like, no, I know you're a criminal. So he just keeps following him around, waiting for him to act up, and Gene's like, bro, I've changed. Like, back off. So it's just following his life. I've never read it, and I've never even seen the movie. So once I finish, I'll probably watch the movie. But like I said in my TBR video, if I'm enjoying it, I'm going to continue to read. I'm not going to, if you guys know anything about me, which is why I'm crappy at buddy reads, I will not stop reading if I'm enjoying it. Like, nothing can stop me from enjoying the book. So I won't stop. But if I'm just like, meh, I'm going to make sure that I stick to my 76 pages. Alright, the next book I have is Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I've never read this book. I've actually never even seen the movie. I've seen like bits and pieces of like the old movie from like the 70s or 80s or something like that, but I've actually never seen the movie or reincarnated it or reimaged of the movie. So yeah, but I do know that this book is about Dr. Frankenstein, who pretty much is a scientist of anatomy and brings a dead person back, and it's a monster. That's all I know. This is pretty short. It's like maybe 200 pages, like 230 pages, so this should be a pretty quick read. Alright, the next classic that I have is Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. This is 75th anniversary edition. I know that this is about a girl, Janie Crawford, who is pretty much trying to live her life. It's a story about a girl in the 1930s. But Zora Neale Hurston was an 1891 to 1960 author, novelist, excuse me. And I read her anthology, Hitting a Straight Lick with a Crooked Stick. That was a bind up of a lot of her short stories that somebody put together. I read that one and I actually loved it. I love her writing. I love how unforgiving Zora Neale Hurston is. So I had to go ahead and pick up one of her most renowned like, this is one of her most famous books. Like, if anyone's talking about Zora Neale Hurston, they're talking about Their Eyes Were Watching God. I haven't read it yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and read it. Again, this is also a very short story. This is about 200 pages, maybe, and I'm excited. Alright, the next one I have is Their Bluest Eyes by Toni Morrison. I have never read this. I know that this is her I believe this is her debut novel. This is basically just following a young black girl who prays every day that she's beautiful, and she's mocked by other children because of her black skin, her curly hair, and brown eyes. She yearns to be other than what she is, essentially. And it is following her life and how her life slowly starts to deteriorate in the face of adversity and strife. A brilliant examination of our reception with beauty and conformity. I know for facts that even though this book was written back in the I don't know. Don't let me lie. But this was published a long time ago. But I know that this is still going to be able to connect in 2023 because of our obsession with beauty and conforming to the beauty standard of the world. So I'm excited for this. Alright, and the last classic that I have is Great Short Stories by African American Writers. This is by 30 outstanding stories, including tales by Webb Du Bois, Zora Neale Hurston, Claudia McKay, and Jamaica Kincaid, I believe. But yeah, this is a short story collection from all types of African American authors from their classics. So I'm excited to get to this. And I love how they have Zora Neale Hurston on the cover. It's everything that I need. This was, again, one of the books that was gifted to me by Wesley's mom. So I'm excited to get to it. Okay, now on to the tomes that I'm going to be reading. Like I said, the Les Miserables is number 1 as a tome. And the next tome that I have is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. I promise you. Oh, also, I promise you. Let me see. These 2 books, I promise I did not copy Princess. I promise I didn't. Okay? I had already written my list like 4 weeks ago. And then when I was doing my classics, I was like, oh, I really want to read this. And then Princess had this on her TBR for one of her videos, I believe, her classics as well. And I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy because I picked this book, right? And then she was talking about tomes that she wanted to read it. And I promise you, I didn't copy her. But she had this as one of her tomes that she wanted to read. We got the same brain because we're best friends, and that's how this works. But anyways, this book is just following a lot. A world divided, a queendom without an heir, and an ancient enemy awaits. The dragons, it's following 3 perspectives. It's the queen, one of the lady in waiting that is protecting the queen, and a dragon rider. I actually started this book a while ago. As you can tell, I had it tabbed. I will probably keep the tabs and still read the tabs. But I had started this book a long time ago, like 2021, I believe. And I just never finished it. But I think I got like maybe 3 chapters in. And I was really enjoying it. I just don't remember why I put it down. Probably because I was in a reading slump. Who knows? I'm just taking a gander. Alright, the next book I have is a book that my mom picked for me. And this is 12 Kings of Sharakai. This is by Bradley P. Boileau. Bailu. There we go. Sure. Wesley's looking at me like, you're saying it wrong.
You said it well enough.
This is basically following a kingdom that has 12 kings. And they pretty much have power over this entire empire, right? And ain't shit budging in this empire. And then there comes this girl who defies the kings. And maybe, just maybe, she'll be able to knock these kings out of power. This is a series, so we'll go ahead and see. And I just really love this cover. I got this from the dollar store, like 3 years ago. So, y'all know me. When I find fantasy at a dollar store, it's the best thing ever. Alright, the next tome that I have is Dune by Frank Herbert. Excuse me. I have no idea what this book is about. Have never seen the first movie. Haven't watched the show. I seen this, and I was like, oh my god, this cover is so beautiful. And I picked it up. Yeah, I did. I just did that.
I know you did.
Let's see. It's about this dude named Paul, who's from this noble family on this world that pretty much like has this type of drug that makes people, what did they say, extending their life and enhancing consciousness. And their family is betrayed, and then now he has to go on this journey. I've heard nothing but great things about this series. Like, obviously, if it got recreated, it's a great series. I just need to go ahead and pick it up. I also wasn't born when this book came out, so that's probably why I didn't read it. Anyways, yeah. That's all I have to say. Alright, and last but certainly not least is The Love Songs of Webb Du Bois by Henri Fanon Jeffers. This is about a girl who pretty much understands Webb Du Bois' words all too well. Bearing the name of 2 formidable black Americans, the revered, wow, okay, I can't read. Revered, thank you. Like, I kept looking at it and I was like, I'm saying it wrong. And I know how to say it, but my brain was just like, no, say it wrong, Jasmine. Say it wrong for the channel. Y'all know I can't read. Choreographer. Last time I recorded this, I said choreographer. And I was like, bitch, that's not how you say it. Choreographer. Alvin Ailey and her great-grandmother Pearl, the descendants of enslaved Africans and tenant farmers. Ailey carries Webb Du Bois' problems on her shoulders. Ailey is reared in the north, but spends summers in the small Georgia town of, I don't even know how to say that, Chicksetta? Sure. Where her mother's family has lived since their ancestors arrived from Africa in bondage. That's all I need to know. I've heard nothing but great things. I know this is like one of those things that you have to read. And I'm pretty sure when I go to college and I take the African American literature, they're going to be like, this is going to be one of the books. I just feel it in my bones, you know? Okay. Now, this is a big sack. So I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm going to have to back up a little bit. These are all the books. All the tomes. Bless you, baby. These are all the tomes and classics that I'm going to be reading for 2023. But yeah. That is all that I have for you guys today. Be sure to check out my description where you can find easy ways to contact me, as well as all the books and channels or videos that I talked about. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if not, just imagine I did come back again. Until next time, keep imagining.